Hey guys, it's Mr. Davis. In this video, we are going to talk about some applications that you can use for the Pythagorean theorem. Now, these are going to be really basic, and as we go through class over the next few weeks, we're going to kind of spice it up and use our applications more meaningfully. We just want to talk about the basic idea of using the Pythagorean theorem in the real world. I've got two big hints for you. Hint number one, we want to draw a picture. We want to draw a picture of what's going on and hunt for our right triangle. And big hint number two, of course, is that we're going to answer as a complete sentence. Anytime you get asked a question as a sentence in math, you need to write your answer as a sentence. So, the questions are a sentence, the answer is a sentence. Ready? Let's get started with our first problem. Let's read this together. It says, a rope stretches from a 6-foot tall tent to a stake in the ground. The stake is 8 feet from the bottom of the tent. How long is this rope? Well, right away, we got a lot of information going on, and I need to take this idea and flesh it out for our brains. A lot of people are visual thinkers, so I'm going to draw a tent. Now, Mr. Davis isn't much of an artist, but let's do this, okay? So, tent, I've got my tent pole here, and the tent comes up. Look at that. It's going to stretch out and come down. Isn't that, like, amazing? Oh, jeez. Absolutely phenomenal. So, there's my tent. Can you guys picture how that could look like a tent? You can go inside. I got a little campfire here. It goes up like that. There's trees in the background. Can you see this whole little camping scene? Beautiful. Let's get rid of that last little tree and make it smaller. So let's look at our problem and see what information we can find. A rope stretches from the tent. So I need to have a rope stretching out. Here's my rope stretching out to a stake on the ground. So a rope stretches from a 6-foot tall tent to a stake in the ground. Ooh, bam, do you see this? We just learned a key piece of information. It's a 6-foot tall tent. So this part of the tent right here is 6 feet tall. Right there is 6 feet tall. 6 feet. Okay, let's keep going with our information. The stake is 8 feet from the bottom of the tent. So right here, I've got myself a stake, and that stake is 8 feet from the bottom of the tent. So this whole area right here is going to be 8 feet. How long is the rope? Okay, and remember my rope was red. How long is the rope? So right here is my rope. To use the Pythagorean theorem, I need to find a right triangle. Do you see a right triangle here? I do. Right up here, I've got my tent pole going up, I've got my rope coming down, and then I've got the distance between the bottom of the tent and the stake that holds the rope into the ground. There's my right triangle. So now I can find my missing value, my hypotenuse, which is going to be the length of the rope. And let's do it. I know that in order to find the hypotenuse, I need to use the Pythagorean theorem, which is leg as a square plus leg as a square equals the hypotenuse as a square. Right here I've got 6, that's one of my legs, so 6 to the power of 2, plus my other leg, which is 8 to the power of 2, equals my missing value, x to the power of 2. Let's see my calculator. I'm going to do 6 times 6, and I get 36. Plus, let's see, 8 times 8 is 64, and that equals x to the power of 2. Let's see, 36 plus 64 can just add together, and it gets me 100 equals x to the power of 2. And now I need to get rid of that power of 2. The opposite of a power is a root. So I'm going to take the root of both sides. In particular, we'll take the second root to get rid of the second power. That will go away, and I get x equals a plus or minus 10. X is plus or minus 10. But we're talking about a length of rope. Can you have a rope that's negative 10 feet long? No, that doesn't make any sense. So here in my problem, I am going to get rid or ignore that negative answer, and my answer is going to be x equals positive 10. x equals positive 10. This rope is 10 feet long. Now, I'm not done. Even though I've written the answer out in my triangle, this question was asked to me as a sentence. So I need to spend the extra time and actually write the answer. The rope is 10 feet long. Anytime the question's a sentence, the answer needs to be written as a sentence. All right, let's do the next problem. This one is very similar to the problem that you just did. I want you to see if you can draw the picture. After you draw the picture, hit play, and I'll show you what the picture should look like. And then I'll give you a chance to solve the problem. Okay, so draw the picture, then hit play. Alright, so I'm going to draw my tent, because we're talking about that tent again. So here's the pole of the tent, and I've got the sides of the tent coming up. Oh, it's a gorgeous tent. And I've got a rope coming off of that tent, and it's staked into the ground. I know that this tent is 10 feet tall. Let me try that again with the highlighter. It's 10 feet tall. So this section of the tent right there is 10 feet tall, 10 feet. I also know that the stake is 24 feet from the bottom of the tent. So this section of the tent right there is 20 feet. So from the bottom of the tent pole to the stake is 24 feet. Ooh, I only wrote 2 feet. That's not the right number. I need to write 24. And my question here is, how long is the rope? The rope stretches down, and that's my unknown value, so I'm going to put x. How long is that rope? Well, I can see the right triangle here, and so we are ready to solve this problem. Go ahead and solve the problem from here. Hit pause and solve it. Hit play when you're ready to check your answer. And remember, your answer should be a complete sentence because your question's a sentence. Go for it, guys. All right, let's see how you did. We are going to use our Pythagorean theorem, which is leg as a square plus leg as a square equals the hypotenuse as a square. My 10 is a leg, so I've got 10 to the power of 2, plus my 24 is a leg, so 24 to the power of 2, equals my hypotenuse, which is x to the power of 2. And let's see, 10 times 10 is 100, plus 24 times 24, which is 576, equals x to the power of 2. And I can add 100 and 576, and when I add those together, I get 676, equals x to the power of 2. Beautiful work so far. And now I need to get rid of my power of 2. The opposite of a power is a root. So I'll take the root of both sides. In particular, I'm going to take the second root. And let's see, I got x equals, because I'm getting rid of a second power, I've got two answers, a plus and a minus. The second root of 676, which is 26. So, looking at this, I've got plus and minus 26. Because we're talking about how long rope is, I know that I can't use minus 26. So my answer is x equals positive 26. But I'm not done. Because my question is a sentence, my answer needs to be a sentence. Here we go. The rope is 26 feet long. And now I'm done with the problem. Good work, guys. Let's keep going. All right. A ladder leans against a building. The top of the ladder is 9 feet from the ground. The bottom of the ladder is 12 feet from the bottom of the building. How long is the ladder? Let's draw a picture. Let's see. If you think you can draw a picture, you can pause it and try. If you don't think you can, let's do it together. I've got a building. Here's a beautiful building. Let's draw a door. Let's put some windows in my building. Oh, just absolutely gorgeous. I know that I've got a ladder leaning against that building. There's the ladder. Not a very good ladder. My picture's a little small. I'm going to zoom in. Here is the ladder leaning against the building. And let's look and see what I know about this building and the ladder. Oop, right here I see a key piece of information. The top of the ladder is 9 feet from the ground. So here's the top of the ladder. It is 9 feet from the ground. So right here is 9 feet. Any other key pieces of information? Yeah, the bottom of the ladder is 12 feet from the bottom of the building. So bottom of the ladder, bottom of the building, right there, that section is 12 feet. And here's my key question. How long is the ladder? Well, there's my ladder. How long is that? And that's my unknown value, so I'm going to put an X in there. And so from here I can solve the problem. I see my right triangle. I think you guys can see it too. There's my right triangle. And so I can go ahead and find my unknown value. The Pythagorean theorem is leg as a square plus leg as a square equals hypotenuse as a square. My first leg is 9, so 9 to the power of 2 plus 12 to the power of 2 equals x to the power of 2. 9 times 9 is 81. 12 times 12 is 144 equals x to the power of 2. 81 plus 144, I'm going to type that in a calculator, and I get 225 equals x to the power of 2. The opposite of a power is a root, so I'll take a root on both sides, in particular the second root. That goes away, and I get x equals plus or minus, and let's see, 225, take the second root, and I get 15. Now, of course, I know I can't use minus 15 because we're talking about the length of a ladder, so I'm going to keep my positive 15. And now here's my question. Am I done? No, I'm not done. This question was asked to me as a sentence, so my answer needs to be a sentence. The ladder is 15 feet long. Now I'm done with the problem. All right, your turn. See if you can draw the picture and label it, and then hit play to see if you got your picture right. We'll solve the problem after we check our picture. All right, here we go. I've got a building again. Beautiful building. I'm going to add some windows to make it nice and pretty. I've got a ladder leaning against the building. Here's the ladder, just an absolute work of art, my art here. And I read through my problem for context clues. Here's my first one. Top of the ladder is 12 feet from the ground. Here's the top of the ladder, and this section right here is 12 feet. 12 feet from the ground. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oop, here's another context clue. The bottom of the ladder is 16 feet from the bottom of the building. Right there, bottom of the ladder, bottom of the building is 16 feet. 16 feet. And my last one, how long is the ladder? So there's my ladder in red, and that's my unknown value. Hopefully you can see the right triangle there. I sure can. And now pause it and see if you can find the value of x. Go ahead and check your answer by hitting play. Here we go. I've got leg as a square plus leg as a square equals hypotenuse as a square. And let's see. 12 as a square plus 16 as a square equals x as a square. 12 to the power of 2, let's see, 12 times 12 is 144. 16 to the power of 2, 16 times 16 is 256 equals x to the power of 2. 144 plus 256 is 400 equals x to the power of 2. And I'll take the second root on both sides, and I get x equals plus or minus, let's see, the second root of 400 is 20. And just like always, since I'm talking about real world length, I can't keep my negative because you can't have negative length. So only the positive answer stays, and I get x equals 20. And am I done? Nope. My answer is a sentence. The ladder is 20 feet long. Let's do another application here. You guys ready for this? Let's fly through 2 more problems, 1 more type of problem, but 2 more problems in general. Let's read it together. It says, a zip line is tied from the top of a treehouse to the ground. The top of the treehouse is 20 feet from the ground. The end of the zip line is 48 feet from the bottom of the treehouse. How long is the zip line? Oh, dude, that's super cool. So a zip line is one of those things that people use in order to kind of like slide from a height down to the ground and like just go down. And you see them sometimes at the trampoline parks. Very cool. So I've got a tree house. So there's a tree, and I'm going to put a house on top of it. So here is the house. Let's make all of this move down. I need more room. So there's my tree and my house. So I've got a tree house. I am not an artist. I got a tree house. And on top of that tree house, I got a zip line. And it goes all the way down to the ground where it's staked into the ground. Super cool. Super cool. Man, that looks so sweet. I wish I had a real tree house in real life. Wouldn't that be way cool? I'm going to actually color this tree house in so it's nice and beautiful. I can do better than that. Let's color this in, make it nice and beautiful. So I've got a tree house. So there's the tree and there's the house. Ugh, that's terrible. Never mind. All right, so here's my tree house. Now, let's go through and read our context clues and see what information we can find. First thing I see is right here. I'm looking for numbers. There's a 20. What's connected to it? Let's see. It says the top of the treehouse is 20 feet from the ground. So there's the top of the treehouse. It's 20 feet from the ground. So this whole blue line there is 20 feet. Let's make it easier to see this line by making it nice and big. And we'll write 20 feet. Beautiful work. And let's see, what else do I know here? Ooh, there's another number. So I can read that sentence. The end of the zip line, right here, is 48 feet from the bottom of the treehouse. That section is 48 feet. 48 feet. Any other pieces of information? Ooh, there's my question, though. How long is the zip line? So here's my zip line. I want to know how long is it. It is my x. All right, let's slide this over here and see if we can figure out this problem. We got the Pythagorean theorem. Leg as a square plus leg as a square equals the hypotenuse as a square. I know that 20 is one of my legs, so 20 to the power of 2, plus 48 to the leg, so 48 to the power of 2, equals my hypotenuse to the power of 2. And now I simplify. 20 times 20 is 400. 48 to the power of 2 is 2,304. And that equals x to the power of 2. Add those together, and I get 2704 equals x to the power of 2. So the opposite of a power is a root. Take the second root on both sides. And I get x equals plus or minus the second root of 2,704, which is 52. Now I know that I can't keep a negative answer. That won't do me any good. So I'm going to just use my positive, and I get x equals, ooh, that's too big, x equals 52. Am I done? No, of course not, because my answer is a sentence. So I better write my answer as a sentence here, and that sentence will be the zip line is 52 feet long. Beautiful work. Your turn. All right, let's read this one out loud. A zip line is tied from the top of a treehouse to the ground. The top of the treehouse is 15 feet from the ground. The end of the zip line is 36 feet from the bottom of the treehouse. How long is the zip line? Ready for it? Go ahead and draw your picture. Hit play when you're ready to check what your picture should look like. Here we go. I've got a tree. And I've got a tree house. Your pictures can be prettier than mine, but they don't have to be. I've got, coming off of that treehouse, a zip line. Oh, absolutely awesome. I wish I had a treehouse with a zip line when I was a kid. And now let's find our information. I see a number. Oops. I see a number. So let's explore this number 15, and I see the top of the treehouse is 15 feet from the ground. So right there, the top of the treehouse to the ground is 15 feet. Let's look for another number. There it is, and let's read it. The end of the zip line, right here, is 36 feet from the bottom of the treehouse. Right there is 36 feet. And so my question, how long is the zip line? There's my zip line, and you can see the right triangle now. So how long is that zip line? Go ahead and see if you can figure it out. Hit play when you're done to check your answer. Alright, let's do it. Pythagorean theorem is leg as a square plus leg as a square equals the hypotenuse as a square. First leg is 15, so 15 to the power of 2, plus next leg is 36, so 36 to the power of 2 equals x to the power of 2. And we got to keep going, 15 to the power of 2, so I'm going to do 15 times 15, and I get 225, plus 36 to the power of 2. So 36 times 36 is 1,296 equals x to the power of 2. I can add those together, and when I do, I get 1,521 equals x to the power of 2. And then I got to remove my power. The opposite of a power is a root. I'm going to use the second root here. Those go away, and I get x equals plus or minus 39. So I can't use that negative 39 because I'm talking about length. So I'm going to use the positive 39. And am I done? Nope. I need to write my answer as a sentence. The zip line is 39 feet long. Alright, good job, guys. These things can be tricky, but if you draw pictures and look for triangles, I'm sure you'll figure it out. See you later.